Granny, those Lightbearer mercenaries seem to be intentionally stirring up conflict between the Dark Forest and the Lightbearer Empire. The Thorn Guards are acting strangely as well. They sought to intensify the conflict, going as far as chasing Damien into the labyrinth.
On top of everything, they tried to frame the disappearance of Damien on the Lightbearer refugees. If we hadn't arrived in time, the consequences would have been dire. While the Thorn Guards are traditionally conservative, why have they suddenly become so extreme?
Must be Earmir's idea. After hearing the Thorn Guard's report at the Sages meeting, his stance was very firm. Believing the outsiders had brought corruption to the forest, he implemented the Exclusion Edict. The Thorn Guards were all for his decision. However, Arden and I thought he was too quick to decide, and that's where the disagreement started.
Granny Darnie, did you end up arguing with Master Earmir?
Argue? I was merciful enough not to turn the meeting into an all-out verbal war. In short, the meeting ended on a sour note. Since then, Earmir has been avoiding me. Arden went off to explore the Verduso Mountains, with only occasional updates trickling in.
Then I guess it's impossible for you to step in and ask Master Ymir to revoke the order.
Me? I wouldn't have waited this long if that old man was willing to see me. Listen, even the three sages need to weigh and contemplate matters before deciding. Wisdom comes only when we free ourselves from blindly following old beliefs. Oh dear. Come forward. Let me take a closer look at you. Are you the mage who can cleanse the corruption? I left Lunadorf earlier because a new corruption site was discovered nearby. I have to monitor it regularly, just to be safe.
What? The corruption has spread near the village. That's no good. The village will be in serious trouble if the corruption seeps into Lunos Lake.
The little troublemaker has finally grown into a responsible young man. Leica can stop worrying about you now.
Granny?
Oh, to be young again. I'll entrust you youngsters with the task of clearing up the corruption around Lunadorf then. Bryon, you stay here. Keep sending Arden messages through the wind, and make sure he responds within the day.
Yes, Master Dani.
For the god of war.
Oh yeah! I can't wait! What did I say?
Oh my. Looks like someone needs a little warming up.
Yes, as you command. Now,
Oh my. Looks like someone needs a little warming up. Sorry, did I burn everything down? Oh well.
A great victory, the glory of which belongs to each and every warrior.
Magister? The corrupted roots here seem odd to Chippy. Chippy just went underground for a quick look and found that the roots beneath are spreading in the southeast direction. Even though there's only a small area visible on the surface, it's pitch black down there, and the roots stretch quite far, like a giant snake.
Chippy, stop! You're giving me the creeps.
Any clues?
To the corrupted area close to the forest entrance? Where the refugee camp is? Chippy can't remember. The roots of that corrupted maniflora in the labyrinth seem to be growing toward the east.
Is there a pattern to this? When I patrolled the forest with the Dusk Patrollers, we only noticed corruption in the less visited spots. We've dug out the roots before, but since they spread too widely, we could only remove a nearby section to slow down the corruption.
For the time being, let's make a note of these locations first. I have a pen and paper handy.
Granny, he just cleansed the corrupted roots. What do you think? The mage I brought in is quite impressive, right?
He hasn't even said anything, and you're already asking for credit.
Come on, I went all out to find him. There's got to be some credit from me, right?
All right, friends. Let's not squabble like this in front of Granny Dani.
You kids are so restless. It'll still be a while before you can stand on your own.
You're back! I've got everything ready for the ceremony. It's the final step in preparing the new prosthetics for Corin. Offering a prayer at the Deer Spirit altar.
Oh, my apologies. We haven't properly introduced you to the deity worshipped in the Dark Forest, have we? We worship the goddess of the earth and the rivers, Misate. Legend has it that whenever the Dark Forest faces calamity, Misate transforms into the Deer Spirit to guide us. As time passed, we sculptured statues of the Deer Spirit and set up an altar. On major holidays, or when facing crucial decisions, we offer prayers to Misate, asking for divine blessings.
To pray for Misate's blessing, so that Corin's new prosthetics can last for a good while. I took a close look at his previous arms. They lost their vitality due to extended use. It was only after blocking that attack for me that they stopped working completely. Though Misate may not answer my prayer, I figured I should at least try. Well, worry not. I adjusted my design to ensure that they last longer than the previous ones. All right, that completes the ceremony.
Misate above. I'm sure she has heard everyone's prayers.
Corin, how are your new arms? Aren't they easy to move around with?
Yes, my arms. I can move them again.
What do you think? They are my greatest invention. Just come to me if anything happens to them. Forget about that exclusion edict. Saving my life makes you a friend. There's no reason to keep friends outside.
Yes. I owe you one.
No, don't say that. You owe me, I owe you, blah blah blah. It's a meaningless cycle, isn't it? Save your thanks for Laika and Aaron. They helped us too.
All right. My dear Wilder friends, I've come to understand that the forest blockade is Yrmir's decision. I made a mistake in my previous assumption. You've been accompanying Damien and me on this journey. Please accept my apologies.
It's okay. Given the current chaos, we, as children of the forest, must share the responsibility. Laika Lawson and I were born and raised in the Dark Forest. We must bring order to our home once again.
Can you do me a favor? Damien says my arms are not ready to fight anytime soon. So when you see Yrmir... I have faith in you.
You must be exhausted from the journey. Granny Dani and Shani have arranged a place for you to rest. If you'd like a short nap, head to the house by the Weiserherb Garden.
Chippy, do you remember when I was affected by the corrupting magic at the forest entrance? The magic emanating from the corruption felt identical to what I sensed in Southville. Is it possible that the same person is behind all this mess?
Ah! Stop! You're giving yourself a headache. Chippy will cry if you collapse again.
Magister, why haven't you gone to bed yet? You need some quality sleep to restore your magic.
Hammy suggested that we take some time to think so you can get more rest. You must be really tired from the journey and the cleansing.
Yes, but we haven't come up with anything yet. Before you reinforce the seal, didn't the mercenaries guarding the Great Fields mention a woman in black working with Lord France? I think there's a connection between the corruption here and what happened in Ryam. But so far, we haven't found any clues.
Hammy doesn't have any ideas, so Chippy is even more clueless. Chippy thinks those creepy, tangled roots underground look like a huge spider web. Super scary!
Magister, leave the guarding to me and Chippy. Go get a good night's sleep until you're fully rested.
Hammy is right! Rest well, Magister. Tomorrow we'll figure out how to get Ymir to lift that exclusion edict.
Why are you still up? Is the place Granny Dani arranged not to your liking? As a guest from afar, it would be our fault if you couldn't rest well. Well, my mind is restless, so I thought I'd walk around the village. This tree, you see, was planted when Lunadorf was founded, imitating the Lucent tree. When I was young, I often saw people standing under this tree. I would ask them, if you have worries, why not pray at the Deer Spirit altar? And they said many things were too embarrassing to voice in front of Misate. Now, I understand that sentiment. While you were wandering the village, did anyone mention a nickname for me? Some call me the Scion of the Lucent Tree. The Lucent Tree is the sacred tree of the Dark Forest, and it is believed that a child born under its branches will be blessed by Misate. Everyone believes that I would bring peace and happiness to the forest. I've never met them. Was I abandoned by my parents, or was I blessed, as legend has it? It's meaningless to trace my lineage, because I don't feel any different from Leica, Lawson, and the others. But there's only one thing I can't forgive myself for. I wish to walk the path of the sword, and have no interest in living up to everyone's expectations. So, as Lawson said, I left. I left the forest and everything behind, dedicating myself to perfecting my swordsmanship. Only upon my return did I realize that the forest had changed. I wield the weapon meant to protect the forest, but I've lost the will to protect it. You're right. Yet, being a member of the Wilder community, I have duties to fulfill. I'm not the hero everyone envisions, just a selfish person avoiding his responsibilities. I deserve to be punished. Don't let my self-pity affect your mood. Go and get some rest.